Good morning, traders. We are live here again on this beautiful Tuesday, March 25th. If you're new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we jump into the charts and get some live trading in, make sure you read what's on the screen. Most traders lose money. Trading is extremely risky. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing that you see from me here or anywhere else is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Do your own research, make your own decisions. CFTC Rule 4.41, make sure you read that. It's on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links in my content. Let's hop right onto the charts. Same setup, rolling as far as what I have loaded up today as yesterday. I have a 3-pack of XFAs from Topstep here on the Project X platform, and I have a 5-pack of Tradeify funded accounts linked together through, I'm going to try not to mess this up because it's a tongue twister, 5 Tradeify accounts that are traded through Tradeify. This is TradingView, and they are linked together to be copy traded through TradeSyncer. There we go, I got it. So we're going to probably be executing again like I did yesterday on this TradingView chart, trading from these Tradeify accounts. Talked a little bit about that yesterday. Almost the exact same chart, but since I am just so comfortable, I've really been staring at this chart for a long period of time now. The Project X platform, I'm going to stare at it today as I'm trading. But let's go ahead and jump into some analysis here. What's up, guys? Good morning, good morning. Let me know if you can hear me okay, if the music's okay. Let's see. Yeah, music looks all right. Let me turn it down just a little bit. Yeah, let me know if anything's too loud. Someone made a comment yesterday and they said it was on their end. But we have the daily chart pulled up, just getting a higher time frame view. This is interesting, man. Interesting. Bullish day. We opened up, gap up, and like I was saying yesterday, and like I was trading for, but closed out ahead of news, and then just closed out for near break even. That trade would have played out all the way to the intended take profit. But we had a gap up to open the week. And while gaps traditionally do fill to the downside right here, this would be a bearish call. I saw a lot of strength through the overnight session, through Asia, through London, and then right into pre-market that told me start to get long on this thing. I don't think we're coming back down to fill this. And I saw a lot of guys struggle yesterday. A lot of blown accounts talked about on social media that were aiming for that gap fill and just not getting it. Which is okay. It happens, right? On another day, I'm short and I'm taking those L's. But we really formed a solid bullish bar yesterday. This was not, at least for now, displaying that this was going to be a crack up above these highs and then an aggressive sell-off to continue this trend. We're really starting to form structure to the uptrend, right? Continuing nice clean break and retest structure to the downside, pull back up, consolidation with a break above this area, lows getting put in, lows tested, and then continuation to the upside. So, could this be a nice, higher time frame pullback before we start to dump and just sell off, into spring and summer? Sure. But right here, right now, just looking at the last couple daily candles, big bullish bar, forming a bullish bar here today. I think we could easily pull back, kind of trade back across yesterday's profile a little bit more. But we look like we want to blast off here. Look like we want to blast off. So somewhat interesting structure. If we continue to the upside here, you can see where this next area of high volume starts to come into play. Market is open, 931, but I'm going to get my analysis in with you guys first. I'd be looking at this area here in ES that was tested multiple times, the 5860s, let's say, as the next area to the upside. If we were going to see some seller step in, some resistance found. Is this still the, this stupid thing reset. Let's see if I can't make my rectangle nice. What is my settings on this rectangle? 20%, 20%, and 3 over. Sorry, guys. I'm going to adjust my rectangle. You can see how I set my rectangle. And we're going to make it extend to the right. Yeah, I'd be looking off these lows, but probably a little bit higher. like coming into this area of high volume right here. If we continue to run to the upside from, yeah, the 5860s all the way up to the 80s, that'd be the next area that I think we could potentially run if we continue to break out to the upside. So dropping down to a 5-minute, continuing kind of our top-down analysis that I do like to do. Again, I don't use too much of it, right? I stay very neutral. I trade the 1-minute chart, but I just do this for frame, you know, for a frame of reference, kind of what's going on throughout the day, from all the way from the daily down to the 1 minute, and then I hyper-focus on the 1 minute. So you could say, I don't know why you waste your time doing that, and that's fair. Looking at yesterday's profile, obviously we know what happened overnight. Opened up, gap up, big push to the upside. We did continue to the upside. Again, we traded out the 58.15s. This was my target. As I was getting long on this, closed out as the trade just kind of slowly grinded to the upside. We got our volume profile from yesterday. You know, the regular trading hours volume profile. Value area high, volume point of control, value area low down here. Area of high volume right within this. I think, you know, we really didn't get it yesterday. We didn't get like a retest down all the way down to this level before continuation to the upside. We just kind of popped to the upside. I think just based on how we're opening up here, a retest around this value area high, VWAP, and the top of this, you know, high volume area, looking at the temporary volume point of control. This is the visible range volume profile. Horizontally plotted volume, right? Displaying kind of what we're seeing here in this consolidation. I think that could be in store. So again, just framing out, just still on a little bit higher time frame, framing out what this could look like. Oh man, I reset all my tools. Ugly. Blue. You don't want anything blue here. I could see something along those lines. I could certainly see just consolidation where we kind of just chop around and trade back across this and kind of have a choppy, slow Tuesday. Not a whole lot of news. We'll talk about that coming up in a minute. Or conversely, we could just blast off. Bullish bar, trending around VWAP, taking off for pre-market, right, through London, through Asia session. Really taking off for pre-market, strong to the upside, chopping here, coming into the open, and so far kind of pulling back down to yesterday's high. We could absolutely blast off from here. So that's my analysis. And again, I try not to make it too vague, but I frame like everything that I could see happening, right? And then what my, you know, initial bias is. Initial bias is bullish. Why? We're breaking to the upside across multiple time frames. We're breaking to the upside right here, right now. We're above prior day's high. We're just off of the overnight high. Well above value area high, above VWAP. Everything is a bullish call on this as far as just traditional trend and direction in relation to higher time frames, to lower time frames, all the way into volume tools, into prior days, you know, profile, and just daily candle. Right here, right now, we are selling off into the open, coming back down towards VWAP. Again, what I could see is, I just want to get the open marked right there. Yeah, okay. I don't understand where we are. I could see a pullback down around this value area high area, right? Around this VWAP, and I would look to buy strength off of this. So I have something setting up somewhat quickly. I'm going to watch it on this, chart since I'm comfortable now. This could be pretty sweet. I could go for something along these lines. Again, these are just arbitrary to get something in as I put the trade on. I adjust as I go, but I want to create a bracket with this TradingView, Tradeify setup, because if I don't, I'm entering a limit order and it doesn't get canceled if one of them fills. It doesn't enter as a one, cancels the other. So I'm looking at a buy from potentially down here. Again, on a pullback. I don't know that I would buy the pullback. I would probably buy the strength after the pullback, but I'm looking for around this value area high from yesterday. Is that in the same spot? Yeah, it's close. Around the 814s. You know, a pullback down into this area and then some strength to be shown would be pretty sweet. Good morning, Ryan White Walker, Wolf, for the love of the trade. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let's get after it, man. Let's get after it. I like that. See what we can do here. I've had a handful of sessions like yesterday that I'm not too happy about, where I had good opportunity, had a trade that was correct, had direction down, risk was structured well, and just didn't realize the full potential of it. So I'm making that decision like I did yesterday, right? If I can't manage and I have to get off the charts and I'm in meetings like I was yesterday, I had a couple things to do, and I'm not even going to be able to like look at a chart, let alone manage a trade for the next, let's say, hour and a half. Do I really want to leave a trade on? You know, it's tough. It's a tough call. So we got a retest of VWAP here on the 1 minute chart. We got some strength being shown. I'm kind of interested to see where we go from here. Again, I'm looking for more of a test down into these 814s. I could see that happening. We do have, don't have a ton of liquidity down below. We do have some back up above. But nothing really strong like yesterday that was standing out. Oh, we do. Wow. Wait a minute. If I zoom way out. Hang on. You guys got to see that. So usually I run my book map like this, you know, much more zoomed in. But I slowly start to zoom out without trying to collect too much data, because eventually I'll break book map. It'll crash. That's a big stack of orders down on the book. Almost 2,000 down at 57.50. So that is interesting. I'm going to mark that on my chart, 57.50. But right here, right now, it's way too far away to be paying attention to. If we started to sell off, way down here would be a potential move to the downside. What's looking like it's down at that level? Yeah. Going for that gap fill. Headed towards that gap fill. That's what that would be. If we really started to sell off today, coming down towards these highs. Prior highs broken into higher time frame uptrend. Yeah, that would be pretty gnarly to the downside. And I would be very wrong on my initial direction here. But we're not going to worry about that just yet. So we got to test a VWAP. This is a bounce play to the upside from right here. I'm not going to take this yet, guys. 9:39. We're only 9 minutes into the session. You know, there's definitely a trade that's just this right here. You know, either for a 1-to-1, just cracking back up to this area of volume, potentially before we continue lower, or for a, you know, for a higher risk to reward. But this might play out right here. Test of VWAP. Sellers not taking it through. Buyers stepping right back in. Yeah, here it is playing out. Why am I not going to jump into this one? Early in the session, we're selling off, right? We are starting to break structure to the downside, coming back down below this level, not breaking highs, you know, opening up to the downside, breaking and retesting. I think we continue down here before maybe we find some strength, but quick bounce play off VWAP would have paid if I was going to get aggressive enough in the first 7-8 minutes of the session. So yeah, let's see what we get. I'm looking for, again, just a move down here, kind of sweep down below these lows, and then maybe a decision to be made to the upside, or some aggressive selling to step in and bring this thing down lower. So don't want to be too antsy with it just yet. But we're going to see what we get. See if we can make some money here on ES. And at very least, take our trades, let the odds play out in our favor. May the odds forever be in your favor, like that Hunger Games quote. And we do have... What's up? The Legend is live. Yeah, right. I was just about to say it, Ryan. Right on. Consumer confidence, 10 a.m. Eastern. Orange folder news. Great call out, Ryan. You guys called out Trump and Elon speaking, which I wasn't paying attention to yesterday. There wasn't a big reaction on it, but... Here's what we got today. 10 a.m. orange folder. This is medium impact, consumer confidence. I'd trade through this if I found something. I got to get trades on, so you know I can't just be out for every little bit. But you know that's a reason for caution. That could definitely move the market. Later into the week, just taking a look, we got unemployment claims on Thursday. That's an 8:30 a.m. Not too bad. Pending home sales at 10, and then again 8:30, and revised consumer sentiment at 10. So not that bad. Pretty clear week. Just looking ahead for the following week. Yeah, not a bad week again. We got NFP Friday on the next week, but not a whole bunch of holidays or anything taking us out of the market. Yeah, so we're gonna watch that. It's 9:42. We're getting ready to set this 15-minute opening range from right up here to right down here. Yeah, this looks like this initial bounce play right off VWAP. If I was gonna get aggressive enough, would have played. Could have grabbed a quick 1-to-1 if you were just going like let's say like a point below that low, just to allow for a retest of it. That wouldn't have been bad. Again, really aggressive, kind of scalp off of VWAP. It's just a little dicey to take it like right here because so often we just kind of, continue through. We don't put the low in right at VWAP and continue, but it's not a bad play. Not a bad play. So I'm gonna watch this. I do think now we continue up into this area of high volume before we potentially sell off. I'm gonna watch how this structure develops. So far, kind of opening up weak on this session. Again, very bullish overall. Could we be in for a big correction today, back down towards filling that gap? It's, there's statistics behind that say gaps like to get filled, but I'm gonna wait to see what we get. A little more structure on this. Nice. We got somebody scalping YM. Very nice. There we go. There's aggressive selling pressure to the downside at 943. Alert. Tradeify. Trade Sinker posting about an issue. That's a little bit concerning. Founder of Kin Apparel. I love my natural. Don't want to add in here. Sorry guys, got a little bit distracted. I had an alert that Trade Sinker, which is what I'm using for trade copying, was having some kind of an issue. So trying to see what that is. But that's the good part of trading live, right? And being in communities. You kind of get first feel of what's going on. It's a little bit sketchy. I'm looking long on this right now, but I got something else in my peripheral vision, which is Trade Sinker having an issue. This is interesting, right? So we got a little bit more volatility out of this this candle that just printed here. We got our 15-minute opening range low. I'm going to look to see if we continue a little bit lower. There's certainly buying right after this, 1 minute candle here. I could see that to the upside. We got some liquidity down at like 803 all the way down back around these lows. That's a little bit concerning. I'm still looking long on this for at least a push back up into this range. But I'm cautious taking it long here, just really counter to what we're seeing so far. I'm going to see how this starts to set up. I think a retest all the way back up at this level is likely. Might have to try it, boys and girls. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this one. This is dicey. This is dicey. Test of VWAP. Buyers found. Swipe below VWAP. Buyer stepping in, coming back down. This might be a little bit counter to start to get in front of. Close to value area high, but not quite a retest. Massive stop on this. if I was going to try it, which I'm getting ready for a long here, guys. If this enters, what's up, TradingView? Oh man, that's not good. That's not good. TradingView lagging out. Oh man. I'm gonna hit the refresh on this one, but I'm gonna open up Tradeify. That's not good at all. Oh, platform issues. Make sure I'm not in a trade, because now I can't see. Doesn't look like I am. That's ridiculous. So I was entering a buy here. We're going to see if this helps me out. I'm going to get out of this. And make sure I'm not in a trade. I'm not in a trade. Yep, nothing showing across my accounts. Good. That's sketchy. Yeah, so I put a buy in. It looks like I'm going to be saved just by a technical error because we're selling back off. That was going to be 3 contracts long with a mild stop loss, mild risk, or 4 contracts long. Just checking Tradeify to make sure that nothing is like sitting, making sure I hit like exit market and cancel all on everything, but that is super sketchy. Connection looks good. I don't know why I would have an issue like that. Yeah, saved by a technical issue on there, but that's super sketchy. Yeah, I think TradingView and Tradeify might be having issues. Yeah, this thing is a problem. I'm not even gonna try this. It's not loading on a second screen. Okay, anyway. Sorry to get distracted, but there's live platform issues there. So I'm using Tradeify, TradeSyncer, Tradeivate, and TradingView. I'm logged into TradingView through my Tradeify trading account, and then I was copy trading with TradeSyncer, but that trade did not enter at all, and I don't see the entry on Tradeivate. So I logged in directly into Tradeivate to just check this. So, make sure we don't get the ghost fill or something. That would be really sketchy. Just hit an exit market and cancel all on everything. As the market's selling off. Cancel all orders. Yeah. Okay. Let's refocus here. Yeah, there's something going on with TradingView and Tradeivate for sure. Saved by a technical issue on that one. On another day, I'm really angry because it rips in my direction, but kept me out of what looks like would be a losing trade. Again, I'm sorry to be distracted, guys. I'm really fearful when something like that happens, that it is entered and I just don't see it, or like maybe the orders don't go in but the stop and take profit gets hit. So I'm just like triple checking Tradeivate, which I'm able to log into, and TradeSyncer to make sure that like nothing's sitting out there, because that can be an account killer. That can just absolutely just run through all of your accounts. You don't know a limit order fills for a buy or a sell. There's no stop loss, and then you log in and you have that sickening feeling when all of your accounts are blown, or you just get the email that says, violation or something. But yeah, there's definitely a problem with TradingView and Tradeivate right now. That looks like the issue. TradeSyncer's Discord is saying that there's an issue as well. Well, back on Topstep X for now. All right, that's enough of that. on Topstep X for now. Yeah, so was looking long, saved by a technical issue. I'll take it. Down at value area high, this is continuing to sell off. I was looking at this as strength to the upside. Don't know that I would actually fully be stopped out here. I was looking at like a 30-point stop loss on that. Yeah, I probably would have been close to stopped out or stopped. I'm still looking at this as potential strength to the upside. I'm considering another buy on this right here. Stop loss down below this level. Again, it's really counter, and I'm probably just going to have to hold now and see what happens down here. But I could see a crack back up, at least a wick above these highs, before potential continuation to the downside. But this is not looking too strong. I like it off of value area high, though. I like it off of this VWAP. Again, I'm looking at this as strength. Could just be carrying a really poor bias here. Just see where we're at on a higher time frame. Looking at volume profile. Yeah, we could come all the way down into this area, but I'm looking at this to the upside. I'm getting long on this again, guys. I'm not going to go with a whole lot of risk. I'm going to go something light. But I'm looking for a crack back up to sweep these highs back towards prior day high before we potentially continue lower. We come down below this low, and we start to come through this level of low volume again. I think we're just going to rip my face off to the downside. But I'm trying this bad boy long. Again, a little bit higher time frame move, which is why I keep zooming out. But I'm looking at buyers stepping in, trying to take this thing back above VWAP, break a little bit of structure to the upside. Not something that I'm going to hold all day, not something that I'm putting a lot of risk on, right? 116 bucks worth of risk. But I'm going to look for a quick move back up here towards prior day high, right above this high. Look to scalp a little trade to the upside. Again, conversely, if we continue this structure to the downside, I think we're just going to rip my face off and, I'll take a small L. But this is the same type of trade that I just couldn't get into on the first one, so I want to take it, and if I have to take an L, I'll take an L. But pretty light, 3 contracts, 116 bucks worth of risk. I'm long from 58.17 and a half, stop at 58.09 and 3/4 right now. Again, looking for a quick crack, really like right up to this level. It's kind of what I'm looking for. Again, I don't usually run a take profit. But if we got a crack back up above that high, that's kind of what I'd be looking for. Even right into this area, right down here would be pretty sweet. I'll run that right there for now. Watching Bookmap. Yeah, we might only be coming above this high. I'm going to watch this on Bookmap and decide if I want to duck out at any point here. Yeah, we do have some liquidity building down at 58.10. I'm gonna go stop loss to break even plus +1 on this. Again, counter, really counter. I'm gonna look for a quick crack up above. I have option to grab 70 bucks worth of profit. But I'm going to look for just a quick continuation up above this level to sweep these highs before some aggressive sellers potentially step in. Might not get it, and this is one that I will realize a stop out rather than a full stop loss. And I talked a lot about not moving my stop loss to break even. This is pretty counter, and I'm watching on Bookmap. 200 lots on the book, 189 down around 58. 10. I really don't like that. That's right where my stop loss is. So for those reasons, I'm hanging on to this with stop loss at break even. That might be all we need to do. Good trade, good entry. We'll see what the take profit and management looks like. This is what I was looking for. Buyers to step in and bring this thing higher. That's a gnarly rejection up here. Don't really want to take it off for 60 bucks just yet. But this may come right back down towards VWAP and stop me, which I'm okay with. I'm going to look for just a quick crack above this level. Would really like to see buyers continue to step in here and just piss everybody off if we're going to move to the downside by coming up above these highs where stops are very likely to be. You know, this is somewhat counter to what I am usually doing. But again, it's more of a higher time frame, you know, perspective, right? I was looking at this as very bullish pre-market and through really up until the open. Was looking at these areas to be tested and for buyers to step in. We have that happening. From a real low time frame perspective, we were breaking and retesting the downside, and now we finally got a little bit of structure to the upside here. I don't know that I fully... I'm going to zoom out here for a second. I don't know that I fully believe in this trade to the upside, and that's why I'm playing it much more aggressively. Stop loss at break even. Where I'm very likely to be stopped just on a retest because I have liquidity down below near that area where my stop loss was. I think if we're going to make a larger move to the upside or downside, you know, coming below this low is likely. So I'm just not going to have risk on like that. Failing to move above this level, man. That'd be sweet. That'd be sweet. Yeah, NASDAQ pushed a little bit higher. Didn't come above the same level of structure from like that same time frame, that 942. Looks like we're gonna hang out down here, at least for now. Retest of VWAP is very likely, in my humble opinion. Oof. There's some volatility. I think this is very likely that we take a stop at break even. Excuse me. We're coming into our 10 a.m. news. 9:59 and 15 seconds. A lot of volatility right before that news. And do we get a stop at break even? Not yet. Testing VWAP. Dancing all over the place. Gonna see if we get a crack above this level. But stop loss at break even for sure on this one. That's a lot of wickiness. Definitely run the risk of even some slippage on this, so we'll see how my order fills. That'll be interesting. See, coming into some orange folder news. Ooh, volatility to the upside, to the downside. Oh, we got real close to my take profit on that one. Real close. Dang, it couldn't wick that high, could it? Yeah. Out for break even. A lot of volatility right ahead of that news. Got within. Super frustrating. 2-3 ticks of my take profit on that. 2 to 3 ticks. Good direction. I like that trade. Obviously played out pretty nicely. On another day, by the skin of my teeth, on another entry that's a couple ticks lower, or a take profit that I'm just running right at that high, I'm out for $100 profit across 3 accounts, but not today. Not today. I've been dealing with what seems like an unusually high amount of those, like very, very frustrating, extremely close to take profit or stop losses or entries being hit. Doing it live with you guys, so you know you could be the judge of that, but that's a little bit annoying. So selling back off to the downside. Again, good trade management. Really wouldn't be happy if I watched this thing come all the way back down on me. Again, not paying too much attention to that news, right? Like almost forgot that it was happening. But yeah, not liking it. Definitely not liking it. And what's up, guys? I know I haven't been reading the chat too much. Make sure you don't have too many tabs open. Coffee break. No, the stream, someone said the same thing. Won't let me log into Tradeify. Yeah. Tradeify and Tradeivy is definitely having issues. Locked me out. Broker 10 a.m. news. Yep, you guys were calling that out. For the love of the scalp. 2 out of 2. Negative equals red news equals selling pressure. Called it. Yep, Ryan's still playing off of news. Very good. I'm not a fan of doing that whatsoever. I don't find any edge there, but Ryan seems to, which is solid, man. Plenty of guys paying attention to news. Hesitated on the initial pop 3 minutes prior to news. Maybe if some market makers are yeah, Wolf, listen, man. There you go. Wolf, dude, come on, man. Come on. What are the chances of that? The market makers, guys, they're watching my stream. They're like, listen, in your sim-funded accounts, this dude's stop loss is literally 2 ticks away. We're not going to hit that. We're not going to hit that. That's ridiculous. We're going to make sure we get close, and then we take him out for break even, and then watch what happens. It's going to come all the way back up here, Wolf. That's what's going to happen. But yeah, man, I've had a lot of those. A lot of them. Live with you guys. I structure my trades in a way that makes sense. If I notice an insane, anomaly or pattern that's forming, maybe I have to reassess what I'm doing. I don't, for right now, it's just, it's just the way the market moves sometimes. But look, that wasn't going to continue to the upside. It wasn't breaking prior day high, came all the way down. So happy with trade management. My initial stop was at like 509.5 or 509.75, somewhere down here. So we'll kind of see what happens had I just left this completely on. But that's something that I'm going to move stop loss to break even. So break even trade so far, right? Capital preserved. We got more bullets in the chamber. We can wait for setup next. We'll see what we get out of this. See what we get out of this. Ryan, can you tell us, they say by chance if it's negative or positive? Yeah, guys. So here's the deal. Ryan's calling out. I don't trade news, just have the data, I have my own system. Negative news today. Check Forex Factory Yell. So we could talk about news since Ryan, you bring it up a lot, which is good. And I think it's important for me to discuss, why I don't utilize news and kind of how I've gone through that process. So here's what we're looking at, right? If you hop on forexfactory.com, this is a financial news site. You can utilize one of plenty others, but these are data releases, right? That's what we had at 10 a.m. So we understand why this 10 a.m. candle did what it did. We have financial news that's going to have an impact on the U.S. markets, right? The way that I pay attention to this is just to say, there's news here. Don't know whether it's going to go up or down. Don't care about what the forecast is or whether or not I think it's going to be green or red, and then what the market's going to do in expectation of that or as it perceives that. I just know that it's going to be there, and I expect an increase in volatility because I've tried to play that game for a long period of time, and I don't find any edge there. I don't find it. I don't find, number one, that you can ever predict these things with any accuracy. Number two, you're never fast enough to react to it. And main one, number three, even if the market should do something relative to the way the data comes out, right? So this is below expectation, and that's supposed to be maybe good or bad for the market, which we know ahead of time. It doesn't always react that way. And I've been on the wrong side of that way too many times where it's like, if XYZ news comes out negative, the market should dump, and it rips my face off to the upside. So personally, I think trying to predict and anticipate to the news, and this is not offense to you, Ryan, is a absolute nightmare of a game to try to play. But this is just fundamental stuff. So plenty of guys utilize this in their trading. They pay attention to it. They find a way to use it in their trading, and it helps. For me, on the 1 minute chart, never been able to make it work, or the 5 minute chart or the 15-minute chart, whatever you want to use. But that's what we're looking at here. I ask most guys, how are you going to backtest this, and how do you use it in your trading, right? Are you not going to trade when this comes out? Are you going to trade when it comes out, does what you expect it to do? How are you going to backtest and use this? For most, for me personally, and I think for most guys, trying to interpret all of these other external factors, it's just not helpful. Be a technical trader, be a fundamental trader. On low time frames, if you want to combine all of that and listen to squawk and information that's coming in, maybe you make it work. But I was never able to. Again, so I'm biased. I'm just talking about my own experience. I don't see many traders that are able to either. The vast majority, I don't see utilize fundamentals in that way. Being aware of news, talking about it, being cautious of it. But then what is price showing you, right? What is price doing? That's what I want to follow. Not what I think price is going to do relative to the news. But again, that's just my philosophy on that. So watching this thing pop back up, man, I think we're going to run these highs. I do think we're going to run these highs. Stop at 5809 would have held. Here we go again for just don't touch the trade. File it under don't touch the trade book. I do think we're going to run these highs after stopping me at break even. I'm making that move every day for sure, even if I'm not confident in the counter trend trade. I don't want to hold something like that through news. I think we come back up and we check out these 30s again. That's really what this is looking like to me. Support found around VWAP and value area high. But right here, right now, this is kind of choppy, right? And so the more I watch this now, I wanted this initial pop back up. I'm kind of just sitting back. This is choppy. Again, we've developed a lot of these choppy, consolidating back and forth market conditions, and I do not want to start to get caught in it. I've done a really good job avoiding it, not to pat myself on the back, but I don't want to get caught in it. And sometimes it just does mean like slow sessions, slow trading weeks, green, but not the green that you want, but not where you're buying and selling in here, and the market's just chopping. So want to see if we come back above these highs, what happens? Do we start to get some follow through? I'm going to be pretty late to the party. We come down through these lows again, I think we're selling off, and I'm going to look short. That would be really not respecting VWAP here. If we had an anchored VWAP, here to NYSE session, we are respecting that to the downside quite a bit. This is interesting. So I'm in wait and see mode a little bit here. 1009. We'll hang out. We'll see what starts to develop. Below these lows, down below these lows again, I'm looking short. $5,800. Yeah, I think we sweep those highs in turn. I'm definitely looking short. But we're fixing to find out, as they say in the South. Watch it here develop. Ryan says, I just calculate data in percentages. It's difficult information to gather, just like strategies aren't 100%. All about probability, even with fundamentals. Yes, correlations are important in your trading, depending on your strategy. Yeah. Again, and again, if you've collected data in a way that provides some expectancy or probability, something happens like slightly more often than not in a way that's you can utilize based on historical information. I think that's awesome. I think it's helpful. Again, personally, spending a lot of time doing it, I was not able to whatsoever. And I just, again, I just provide my, my opinion there. But I do see a lot of guys do pay attention to news and utilize it to a degree. Here we go. Going to hit the take profit, man. Not touching the trade again, even through news and counter trend trading. We're not there yet, almost. Looks like it's going to be the answer for me these days. Again, I'm hard pressed to leave a trade in profit, not go stop loss to break even through news. And if I'm really counter and I'm watching liquidity build down below, but we're watching trade management play out right now that would have that didn't help me. It did not help me. There you go. That would be take profit getting hit. So again, let's see where we go from here. Looking for opportunity number 2. Not really going to stay focused on that, because in the past, market doesn't care. That means I can't care. So going to watch what happens up here. We sweep above this high. I'm interested to see if we continue, kind of check out the 30s. If we do that, I'm interested to see whether or not we find sellers and come back through VWAP, or maybe from right here, we start to come lower on this. I'm looking at this as continuation of the downside. and a pretty bearish day forming here. A continuation, down below this low. I think we're headed back down towards the 5,800. I'm going to look to try to find a way in short. This could be difficult structure to trade off of right here as we start to come lower. Conversely, as we're breaking highs, if we continue higher, again, want to watch what happens in the 30s. Really not going to have a trade up here. We break out to the upside and we start to grind after just having to come down and kind of jerk around here around VWAP. I think buys could be in store for the latter part of the day into the afternoon, but I likely won't have a trade on that too quickly. But we're going to try to make a run for these highs, and I do see potentially the 30s being traded, if not coming down through these lows. So that's my analysis, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, so, initially, Ryan, we were talking about red news. If this does end up developing into a big down day, I think that could be really nice. But so far, here we are back up above that news high. And I think that's some of the difficulty. We initially got to crack down and then we come up and sweep the high. So, maybe we're anticipating red news, means negative down day. Do we just look short? That's the difficulty that I find with it. Initially we had that kind of, first off, just big indecision candle, quick crack down below, and then immediate recovery to the upside. So, I don't see that one playing in our favor here. So far, just choppy. But, again, this is my opinion. It's my 2 cents. So, see what we get out of this. This choppy, ugly structure, man. Not too nice. Choppy today, be safe. Yeah, I agree. Heard one guy say that their stops are being hunted on TradingView's paper trading. We're talking about sim funded. Yeah, bro. Oh, yeah. No. Listen, guys. All right, let's make it like really clear, right? Let's make it so unbelievably clear for this, for the number one. If you were trading in a live account, in the live funded environment, excuse me, just a live account, not funded, you are not even like a grain of salt on a grain of sand on the beach relative to the other size that's getting thrown around in the markets. You can tell that because we have information on how much is traded, the volume that's traded. So on ES or NQ or a major indice, especially in the futures market, you're not like, they don't care at all where that is. But let's move past that. If we're in a funded account or an eval or paper trading or anything that's in a sim environment, it's not even getting processed in the live environment. So it's not even there to be hunted by anybody. So not only do they not care about it, it's not even anywhere to be seen. So, hopefully that can provide some some peace of mind that the market makers aren't hunting your stops. They're probably just not in a great spot, right? Myself included, or your take profit might not be in a good spot. So we got expansion here so far. This is looking ugly, really ugly to the downside. I don't know that we're going to see too much. Quick crack up, down here. I'm going to map this out. Pulling up, that was continuation of the downside, right? So far, all of this nice downtrend structure. Now we break to the upside, right? Start to crack above this high. Break to the downside, expansion, crack below this low. And now back break up to the upside, cracking above this high. So that's ugly, right? If I move that around, that's kind of ugly. This wasn't so bad, right? Right here. Nice clean to the downside. That wasn't so bad if we were going to continue, and I'm sure a lot of guys got caught selling off that low. But now we're back up above the high. So maybe the final one before we continue, or do we just continue to expand? The more expansion happens, the less likely we are to continue to expand. The more likely the trend is to develop, in my humble opinion. But this is kind of ugly. Prior day high getting tested again. 30s are likely to be traded, just coming up into this area of high volume, kind of this consolidation from the morning. But I don't have a trade from up here. Down through the lows, I would. Continuation up above this high, maybe. But no good real setup on, no real good setup on this. Tried the longs twice, break even, save myself a stop out just on a technical error. Not a technical error, a platform issue, not an issue on my end. But it's choppy and ugly. But if you're on here, smash the like button, hit subscribe, check out the links, 35% off to Tradeify straight to funded, code RDF. It's up above me, and I'll throw it in the chat. You don't have to take evals anymore, guys. I'm a big fan of straight to funded, real bullish on straight to funded, not so bullish on evals. Tradeify straight to funded, $330. You're trading a 50K funded account with 2K of drawdown. Daily loss limits, buffer, consistency rules, minimum days to pay out, all of these things come into play. Do your own research, make your own decisions. I'm heavy bullish on that. Along with that, RDF works at TradeZella for journaling, Bookmap for Bookmap, Take Profit Trader, and a whole bunch of other firms, man. So you want to support me, you want to support the channel, you want to get yourself the best deal, the top deal, whatever it is at any one of those firms, RDF. That's the deal. Outside of that, hop in the free community, 100% free trading community. No gatekeeping. I tell you guys everything that I'm working on, and you know, you see me trading here live for free. That's all at the top in all links here. But subscribe if you want to chat for next time. You do got to subscribe ahead of time. Catch me live here almost every damn day, 9:30 a.m. And smash the like button. Let's get the like button smashed. So you can help me figure out the YouTube algorithm. But we had a ton of people joining on Discord, man. Insane. I got something ranking somewhere on Whoop or Google. I changed a bunch of stuff, but I have an insane volume of people joining, up to 800. Yeah, 804 members. Wild. Welcome everybody. If you're new from Discord, appreciate you. I think a couple are coming from somewhere where they're not looking for my community, but until I figure out what's going on, we got a ton of people joining, man. It's at like 1,600 a day ago or something, a couple hundred people overnight. So appreciate you guys being here, making it happen. Testing 26s again. Yeah, this is choppy. This is choppy. Choppy. Nothing really doing on Bookmap. Taking a look at Bookmap. This is my favorite order flow tool. Again, you want to find out about Bookmap? I'll throw one more in there. Ready? I'll throw the Bookmap link, which is also in that link on the top. But this way you guys have everything, so nobody asks me. It's also down the bottom of the liquidity in the markets. We don't have to guess where liquidity is. We don't have to talk about what the smart money is doing, because we don't know what the smart money is doing until it already does it. This doesn't show what smart money is doing either. This just shows where resting orders are on the bid and the ask currently right here on the ESM5 contract, right? This is level 2 data, and really all this does, all Bookmap does that I use it for mainly, is display it by way of a heat map. There's a ton of other cool tools, so many different add-ons, but it displays this order book, the DOM as it's often referred to, the ladder, as a heat map, right? This is the current order book. These are price levels. This is quantity of orders on the bid and the ask. And then the heat map is showing us that histogram, or whatever you call this. You know, we have got 140 on the book right here. That's relative to, you know, everything around it today. Higher than that. So, you know, showing it as a little lit up level. You could zoom in, you could zoom out on this stuff. Volume bubbles, cumulative volume delta, a whole bunch of other fun stuff that you look at on Bookmap. Here is NQ's Bookmap. A lot less on the book, but a little bit more prominent levels here today on NQ, where we've got some up above and then a pretty decent stack, but you can see how much lighter it is than ES. Cracking to the upside. Here we go to trade out the 30s. Yeah, again, like, not great structure. The more times we expand, the less the expansion continues, and the more we just find direction. So, you know, gun to my head out of this consolidation, I'm long up towards the 30s. Not something I want to hold all day. Till we come back down through this level, then potentially short. But this is not good structure to trade off of. Does not present a good way to structure risk. I don't want to be taking breakouts, because if I took it up here, you know, around this level, that would have failed. If I took it down here, that would have failed. Took it down here, that would have failed again, coming back up above. Do we come back down through this level? Probably not. I don't see that happening just yet. Again, was looking at the 30s up here to be traded, so we'll see. We'll see together. Gonna hang out. This is ugly structure, guys, though. Be cautious. Yeah, I got a bunch of futures up in there. I don't know what that means, Bill, but I appreciate the comment. Any idea when Tradeify will be back up on TradingView? No, I don't know, man. Ronnie, let's find out. I'm gonna try to log into TradingView, and maybe we'll take a trade together to see if it works. Ooh, okay. So here's the message that I'm getting on TradingView right here. Tradeify maintenance. Looks like there's a technical issue with Tradeify integration at the moment. We're currently in touch with the broker to resolve any issue, so you could get back to trading. Sorry for inconvenience. So yeah, no, not up yet. Not up yet. And when this is going on, I would wait. You know, I would just wait until that clears up. Like, if you want to be the first person to see if it's back working, you might be the first person to find out that there's still a problem. So don't have an answer there. Don't have an answer there, man. So that sucks, but gonna be scalping on these Topstep X accounts, Project X platform. Yeah, man. Yeah, nice, really nicely respected value area high, though. So just to kind of talk about some levels off the chart, while we're not really getting a setup, give you guys a trade, markup. Something that I pay a lot of attention to, I've been paying more attention to, is volume, right? Volume through VWAP, through visible range volume profile. And these are levels, right? Because you don't see this volume profile, and I don't need to. But these are levels coming off of prior days, regular trading hours, volume profile. And the three that I mark are value area high, value area low, and volume point of control, the area of highest volume from the prior day. Often these come into play for the next session. They're very interesting to watch. There's statistics around them, but just basic pattern recognition, you know, makes sense watching them. So how I find this, if you want to find it for yourself, so I come over here and I grab the fixed range volume profile, which I have right here, and I drag that from 9:30 a.m. Eastern, which is NYSE open, over to 4 p.m. Eastern, catching the regular trading hour session, and then I mark that on the 5-minute chart. I do stay consistent to the 5-minute chart because it does switch just ever so slightly across time frames, but that's how I got value area high from regular trading session hours. It's got to be specific on what value area high you're talking about. You can see how that's respected really, really cleanly today. Nice level to be utilized. We tested it here. We tested it here. On a second push off that level, so much chop here, but there's definitely a buy off of that. That could absolutely be a higher time frame buy to the upside. Again, looking for potentially these 30s to trade, gotten close to it. But down around VWAP, when that level's close, it's another good level to look at. In my opinion. Along with that, just to go through my whole chart since we're kind of on it, I only have two other sets of levels that I've been watching very closely these days, which is prior day low, prior day high. Where's prior day high? Prior day high, coming off of the daily candle, and then overnight high and low. Overnight high and low being the area that's traded in overnight session, right? So here's session changeover. Up until 9:30 a.m., what's the high and the low that we put in? Right here, here's the low, here's the high. These are all, actually, all of these are objective levels, meaning there's no discretion into how I'm marking them. They are, you can find them on your chart in the exact same way that I find them on my chart. And you can apply that consistently day over day, which is helpful. I do also like discretionary levels, which would just be zones, right? If I zoom out, you'll see some. A zone, right? Like, how am I marking that? Well, it's not 100% objective. I have my subjective interpretation based on volume profile and where market structure is as to where this zone is going to go. Meaning, you can't mark this on your chart the exact same way as me because you're not me. But objective levels are pretty sweet as well, and they are, better for consistency, right? Because it's the same way on your chart every single day. You can back test it with them, more clearly. Whether or not they work any better is just out for a debate. But, and again, I look at these as a zone, right? Like, not a line in the sand. Same thing with any individual line on your chart. That's why I like zones, like the nice rectangles when I draw them, because it's not exact. Price isn't going to turn on a dime. Usually doesn't turn on a dime at any specific level. You're going to catch around that area, around that area. Yeah, so just watching this thing do its thing. Not a whole lot. Somewhat of an uptrend forming here, but just kind of a back and forth, slow, grindy move. Liquidity at 30. Again, this is the area that I was looking to trade out. If we were going to move to the upside after coming above these highs. Looks like we're going to try for that. Like I said up here, I'm not going to have a long from up here. Just don't have it. Not a good way to structure risk. But we'll hang out, watch this for a little bit longer. Again, man, just kind of some back and forth sessions. Not really exciting. A lot of break-even stuff. But again, that's kind of what trading looks like outside of super scalping, which I've been working on pretty heavily. There we go, trading at the 30. If you're waiting for structure and in the market to come to you, sometimes this is kind of what it looks like. It's just not massively not providing massive opportunity every single day. It's providing a lot of chop, and you get caught in that. It's not too fun. But anyway, I'm gonna hang out and kind of see what we get. Brian, what's up? Zach, how's it going, brother? What's going on, Brian? What's going on? One trade for break even. Technically, I tried to put a trade on in TradingView, and technical issue with TradingView saved me, right? Because that wouldn't have worked out too nicely. Got long out of this second test here. Had my take profit missed by only a couple of ticks, like 2 ticks. Came back to stop me at break even. And news candle, and then did not take another long. But yeah, if I look at how this one really would have played had I left it on, my stop was down here, wouldn't have been hit. So another one filing under, just set it and forget it. Put a trade on and just go hang out and do something else. But again, through that news and really counter to this session before this second test and a pop back up to the upside, I'm going stop loss to break even, before news. It's just too aggressive to let it come all the way back down on me. But got to journal the trades at a certain point and just, rely on the data. Just rely on what the data is telling you. Trading out all the way to the 30s, man. Hanging out up here. Now that we cracked up here, do we continue to the upside, break, and really form a bullish day on this? I think we might, man. I think we might. Unless we see some sellers step in and look to rip our faces off to the downside and turn this into a head back down towards the 5,800. This is looking strong. Looking mighty strong on the 15-minute time frame here. Long wicks to the downside, testing these levels, buyers stepping in, big bullish candle. This could be blast off. We certainly could chop. Neither of those options. Like, we don't blast to the upside and we don't sell off. We could certainly just chop, but this is looking strong so far. L today, but it's all good. 100%, Ryan. 100%. Part of the game, right? You watch me take L's all the time. I don't know anybody that has a 100% win rate. If you find them, let me know. I watched somebody write 1-to-1 something crazy, man. I've been talking about it because people talk crazy online, man. It's insane. And some of these guys have big followings, so it's sad to see. Some dude was writing like 1-to-1 is the bare minimum, and they literally wrote, I'd have a 100% win rate with a 1-to-1. And I thought that's got to be like the most misleading, incorrect thing I've ever seen in my entire life on no, it was worse. I saw worse, but that's pretty bad. Let's get that pre-hire. Yeah, we could pop. I'm not sure. But as we're talking about risk to reward, guys, check out, I'll drop my latest 101% actually. Yeah, there you go. I will drop my latest YouTube video. I just dropped one yesterday. It's all on risk to reward. And I'm not going to get you guys riled up here because it seems to rile everybody up. But it is on risk to reward.
Buy on blue.
Let me not play the ad. And it's all about how there are misconceptions when it comes to risk to reward. That's my video, new YouTube video. There's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to risk to reward, and whether or not risk to reward has a effect on an inherent edge, right? Whether or not risk to reward has an inherent edge. So does running a positive risk to reward mean that you will end up profitably in the long run versus running a negative risk to reward versus running a 1-to-1? And I talk about that. I break down my opinions on it. I do some math behind it, looking at an equity simulator with different win rates and risk to rewards. I think you guys might find it helpful. It's been a big shift, and I continue to evolve as a trader and think of things differently. But it's been a big shift, kind of reframing the way that I think about that. But you guys go ahead and watch that. You can leave your comments on it. Let me know what you think. I think there's, just especially for new traders, right? We get into the trading space and there's so many axioms and things and ways that we're supposed to trade, right? Make sure you're aiming to make more on your winners than you are on your losers. Well, why? What does that mean for the distribution of my wins and losses? Will that help me in the long run? Does it inherently make my system better by giving me an edge in the market? I don't know, right? So there's a lot of that stuff, and I think it can keep guys stuck for a long time and not really adjust their system to the way that they see the markets. That's what I think. So I'd encourage you guys to watch that. I think it's a little lengthy, but maybe it's like 15 minutes. I'm not sure, but I think it's helpful. It's helpful. Grinding to the upside, man. Bulls are holding this thing. This looks like strength, man. This looks like a lot of strength. This looks like a breakout potentially to the upside. If we are not just going to have a stupidly choppy day here, this is looking strong. Pulling back near prior day high and now continuing all the way back up, like jumping out to the 15-minute chart. Because I'm doing this, right? Because if I look left, like there's nothing here, right? Where's the next high? All the way back over here from, the beginning of this month. So next area that I'd be looking at if we continue above this high would to just be cracking these prior highs up above this level, like the 45s, but even more so to this area up here that I have marked off. Where is that coming off of? Discretionary level, as we start to come into these lows here on the 1-hour chart. That's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at here, boys and girls. Yeah, so like I said, as we drift higher, I don't have a setup up here. I don't have a trade. Looking at the boys in Discord. If you're not in Discord, man, hop in the free Discord. Link at the top of the chat. Market's looking bullish. Some good calls. Brian with the beautiful value area high trade. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Trading view isn't working on Tradeify. No trade until that's fixed, for sure. Had someone got in and got out in a gold trade long. Very nice. Very nice. Brian providing SPX option levels. Beautiful. Thank you, Brian. Again, this is the stuff in the free Discord. You want to know about, you want to get options levels that you would need to pay a considerable amount for. This stuff is not cheap. Brian's going to hook you up. Call resistance, gamma walls. I'm not the options guy, but that stuff is really interesting, and there's a lot of traders that utilize it. So added benefit for the free Discord. Shout out to Brian. Appreciate you, man. AKA Stop Hunter. Very nice. Yeah, guys, so, you know, I don't have anything from up here. Again, unless I'm getting super aggressive on scalping, which I'm not doing here live with you guys just yet. I just don't have a nice trade here on ES. This is breaking retest structure to the upside. I was cautious that we might find some serious resistance here as this started to continue. In hindsight, of course, this looks like a beautiful trend to the upside, but up until this level right here and coming back in, this is just ugly, disgusting expansion and potentially, you know, resistance found at prior day high for a sell-off. This is looking bullish. This looks like it might continue. I'm going to wait to see what happens into the afternoon. Maybe get into a buy and hold type of deal on those Tradeify accounts. You know, just going to watch how that develops. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. This is technically one trade for break even, right at $1.53 times 3 accounts. Big money made, guys. Don't spend it all in one place. You know, one note that I really have to take away that I've talked a lot about is my trade management. I'm hard pressed to do anything different than I did today. Really hard pressed. But it's difficult to look at a lot of my trades that would just do best with set it and forget it. Even if it looks like a dumb move to leave on, get within 2 ticks of my take profit, come within just a point or 2 of my stop loss, and then all the way back to take profit. It tells me my entry's good, my read of the market's good, my stop loss placement is very good. My trade management is hurting me more than it helps me, even if it makes complete sense. And I've really come away from actively managing my trades at all. Here on ES, I hardly touch them like I did today. But that's a note that I continue to make. And I think it's one of the easiest reads when you review, right? Like, where are you setting stop loss and take profit? Like, what do you do after you get into the trade in general? You know, where are you setting stop loss and take profit? How are you managing that trade? If you're moving stop loss, if you're moving take profit, if you're adding, if you're, scaling in, scaling out, if you're closing it before take profit or stop loss hits, is that helping you or is that hurting you? So interesting one to review for sure. Again, I don't know that I'm ever going to not touch that one, but I have to acknowledge that had I not, that would have been a full take profit. Again, low risk trade, $116 across 3 accounts, nothing crazy, not something that I wanted to wait to develop anyway on a 1-minute chart that long, hanging out for, back and forth that close. But got to acknowledge that if I'm going to talk about the trades. So in any event, appreciate you guys being here. I'm live almost every day, 9:30 a.m. Check in Discord, check out my socials, because I got a couple days where I'm coming up not being live, getting ready for a badass opportunity that's coming up. I can't wait to share it with you guys. But remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Do your own research, make your own trading decisions. Most traders lose money. Trading is extremely risky. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links in my content. Talk to you guys soon. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. Break even again. We're not losing money, but not what I want to see either on this day. But stayed out of the chop early on. We're living to fight another day. Talk to you guys soon. See you in Discord.